So welcome everyone to our goal setting workshop. Our thoughts go to Gemma today. Gemma was really keen to be facilitating this workshop, and she's had a family matter come up, so she would be here if she could be, but our thoughts go out to her and her family at this sad time. But you're in good hands. I'm a strategy facilitator, so goal setting is what I do day in, day out when I'm not enjoying my time with Business Women Australia and helping with all our events and what we do with members. In my day job, this is a lot of around what I do, working with companies and teams and individuals on achieving their goals and dreams. So I've stepped in. Gemma's promised that she will spend some time with us next year, which might be a really good opportunity for us to do a bit of an accountability, how we're going, review and reset on our goals that we might be setting today. So thanks everyone for being here. It's so wonderful to have you. My name's Lyn Hawkins. I'm the National Director of Business Women Australia, and I'm the founder. I founded Business Women Australia way back in 7 years, maybe 8 years ago with Jennifer Bryant, and she was running Women in Business WA at the time, which was originally started by Sue Rowe in 2008. So it's been around from a local group and now is a national collective. It's phenomenal. We've got chapters all around the country, and we love doing things online because it really gives us a chance to connect across this beautiful country that we call a home. So I'm like to pay respects to the traditional owners of the land in which we're meeting in various parts all around Australia. For me, I'm on this beautiful country, which is the land of the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation. They have lived, danced and celebrated on these beautiful sacred lands for 60,000, maybe 120,000 years in some parts of Western Australia. I pay respects to elders past, present and emerging, and absolutely celebrate our Indigenous sisters in business and the wonderful work that women are doing in the communities to really help raise the profile and the issues of some of the really important things that we need to do to close the gap. There've been some really sad times for our Indigenous friends, and as Business Women Australia, one thing is we're very supportive and can try and do everything we can to help our community to heal. Everyone's valued in BWA. We're all working together to really collaborate to bring about a greater good, whether that's in our impact work that we're doing in our communities as leaders, in our teams at home, on the boards that we're on. And our vision is to really help each other achieve our goals and dreams. And that's why this particular session is going to be amazing, because to be able to really deep dive into our goals and think about our goals and our purpose is going to be a great opportunity for today. And we have a mix on here on the call, and we'll get to talk to everyone soon. There's business owners and entrepreneurs, there's executives, there's professionals and consultants, women who've got various experiences on different boards, leaders, and of course, emerging leaders. And one of the things that we know about leadership is the importance of our own self-awareness and our understanding of what our own goals and our purpose is. So this is really a great topic because it connects these whole areas of development that we focus on, that business improvement, the personal growth, where it is that we're really focusing our influence every year. And of course, connecting across all these different professions, across the different sectors and across different locations. What brings us together is kind of like-minded, even though we don't always agree with each other, are really our like values. This value around courage, around open-mindedness, about the consciousness and dropping in that we do to really look at how we can positively impact on the world. So those of you, we've got a few non-members on our call today and some that are interested in considering membership. There's wonderful benefits to being a member, and there's all sorts of different ways of connecting with us through LinkedIn, through our website, on Facebook. We've got Twitter and Instagram, so please follow us so you don't miss out on any of the updates that we do, and you can share and interact with all the wonderful things that we're posting. We couldn't do what we do without these amazing national partners that sit in and work with us in the background and help us achieve what we need to be doing, whether they're events with wine tasting or podcasts with Anne-Marie Cross, or the leadership programs with Intact Teams and Jessica Schubert, and of course Catco, who look after all our digital marketing. So disc flow accreditation is something we have available online. You can do a self-paced disc flow course. Anyone in a leadership role, this is a really good thing for you and your teams to do, to get an understanding of each other and why you behave and how you like to be communicated with. It's really great. Some of you would have heard of disc profiling. The disc flow is the piece that adds in the emotional intelligence part of it. So it's the next iteration of disc flow, and we partner with Jessica Schubert, who's holds the license for disc flow across Asia and Australia, I think. We also have an accredited coaching program that we've partnered with Fire Up Coaching. I did it. It's a Cert 4. I did it early in the year. I so wish I did it years ago. It's made me a better parent, to be honest, because there's a lot of tools around radical listening and a lot of frameworks that I'm actually working through with not only my teams and the partners and managing partners I work with in their teams, but also at home. It's just been brilliant. And for myself, there's hours and hours of practice coaching. So I got some great coaching from my fellow students through that program. It was amazing. So I'm a certified coach. Not that that's a stream that I'm necessarily going for, but I wanted to learn coaching skills. And this is another one. Some of you that are on this call have done this course. That's another self-paced course that the wonderful Anne-Marie Cross has designed. It's a really well-priced program, and it gives you access then to a bit of coaching from Anne-Marie, who's, I think, one of the best marketers I've ever come across, particularly for coaches and consultants. It's a great foundation course to help you work out what your lucrative niche is, what your signature brand is, and then how to work out, how to get revenue streams from 3 different ways of pricing your consulting. You know, your good program, your better program, and then the best, the top end. She really gets that whole thing around pricing and niche marketing. So if you're not a member and you're thinking about it, we'd love you to join. There's 2 levels. There's our leadership level, which is the ones that are a part of our program, delivering and working and collaborating and strategically being positioned by us as a company. That's one of the most important things we do, is really raising the profile of female leaders. And then there's our community, our classic members who come along and really want to participate, also get the directory listing and get access to the events and access to all the things that we offer of benefit to our members. So if you're not sure and you want to chat about it, have a chat to Leanne Jeffrey. So she's on the call, and Leanne at businesswomenaustralia.com.au can explain all the differences and the benefits of those packages. Lots coming up. So 30th of November in Perth, we've got the masterclass with 3 drops wine and cheese. They were going to do a flight of 6 different tastings, but they couldn't decide. So it's now 8. So that's definitely an Uber night for me. 2nd of December in Melbourne, we've got an amazing panel of women and they're sharing their leadership lessons from the heart. So their epic fails, their greatest successes, how they've overcome challenges, and that's going to be collaboration at WeWork in the city. So we hope Melbourne gets behind that one and really enjoys the end of year chance to catch up and really dive in deep on that great topic. Our WA end of year Christmas party is the vintage high tea. I know I've got that up there as Southwest, but it's not. It's actually for everyone. It's only in Mandurah Road, so it's not too far away for all our Perth people, our Mandurah, Rockingham, everyone to come together to that fantastic high tea. And we've got the online masterclass workshop, Psychological Safety in the Boardroom with Kerry Nobes on the 6th of December. And on the 8th of December in Brisbane, we've got Connections and Conversations. And the 21st of December, gee, those ladies are taking it right to the end. Another walk and talk in the Domain. There was a whole bunch of them that turned up earlier this week. Beautiful weather and a great way to connect in a really healthy way. So not everything we do has to involve wine. So let's get planning. Who's ready to plan? I am going to very quickly just go around the table and get everyone to say who they are very quickly. And I want you to actually tell us why you do what you do. So have a little think about that. Have a think about what your why is. Why do you do the work that you do? So I'm going to go around and I'm going to stop the recording just for a minute on this one. So I'm going to resume a little bit more here and then click on what I'm going to get you to do next. So now I want you to actually think about what your original goals and motivations for. So take yourself back to thinking about yourself as an income earner as well, you know, as a wealth generator in your own right. And I want you to then think about your money, you, and your lifestyle. So look at your work and think, are you getting what you need from a lifestyle perspective? You know, we often talk about juggling life, juggling work, the needs of us as an individual, the needs of us in our roles that we have at work and outside of work, at home or in the community. Are we getting what we need? Are we getting what we need from a financial point of view? And I want you to actually write down yourselves then the 3 reasons why you are. So what is it that's working well from a financial and lifestyle perspective? So you might want to put on your page a way of breaking up those questions. So some of you might want to turn your page into a grid. Others might just want to do it in sections. So this is really important. And I hope you've all got a pad and you're thinking about this, because I want you to reflect on this after the call and to work on it over your time between now and coming back to work next year, really thinking about this. What are the 3 reasons why you are getting what you need from the financial and lifestyle perspective of your work that you're doing now? And then I want you to actually write down 3 things why not. So what is taking away? So it's a really interesting exercise. And I'm going to give you time to do that.
Sorry, Lyn, can I have clarification on the...
So you would have all heard of SMART goals. Anyone who hasn't heard of SMART goal, do you want to pop your hand up? They're specific, they're measurable, they're achievable, they're realistic, or relevant. Some people say relevant or realistic, and they're time dated. So the goal is a goal that's actually got to be done by a certain time. So when we talk about SMART goals, we're talking about goals that we're going to be sitting back and reviewing at a period of time and saying, did I achieve these goals? So have a think about then, when we talk about goals, some of you would have seen this before, the rocks, pebbles, sand. I want to remind you about this. If we put in all these tasks and little things every day, which is the sand, then we put in the sort of medium-sized goals, then our big, huge goals don't fit in the jar. So what we do when we're setting goals is to never fill the jar with the gravel first or the sand. So we want to really understand what are the big rocks first and how do we focus on our big rocks, which are our biggest goals. So when we talk about rocks, pebbles and sand, our rocks are the long-term goals. And if we start working on our long-term goals and make sure they're in the jar first, then the rest of everything else can go on our medium term. And then the sand dribbles in, the little tasks sort of dribble in, and the jar is never overflowing. That's the perfect analogy for the focus on long-term, medium-term and short-term goals. So I want you to think about 2 years from now, with keeping in mind your business goals or your work goals need to be goals that are also keeping in mind what we did just earlier on in terms of lifestyle and the reason and the purpose for why we're doing what we're doing. So have a think about what your 2 biggest goals are for the next year or the next 2 years. So I like to do 2-year planning. I know Gemma likes 1-year planning. They're long-term goals for her. For me, I'm in the stage of 2 to 5 year planning. You can change this any way you like. So this is your way of goal setting. If you want your long-term goal to be a 20-year goal, it could be. I'm just reading a book about family, wealth, and legacy, and they actually suggest that you have a 20, a 50-year, and a 100-year goal setting for a family to think about the long-term view of how to look after your children and your children's children. So that's another form of goal setting. Let's focus on 2 business goals that you want and why are they important? Or work goals or career goals if you're a career. Or it might be to do with your role in business development or your role as a practice manager. What are the 2 goals for the year that you think are the most important? And why? Now, remember SMART. They need to be specific, actionable, measurable, achievable or actionable, realistic and relevant, and time dated. So these 2 goals, I want you to write them in that way. So I'm thinking BWA, I want it to be financially sustainable. How much is that? Does that mean for it to be specific? How is that achievable? So it's no good to me saying I want it to make $1 million because that's not achievable. We'd be going from, you know, I think we're 70,000 a year, and it's, you know, maybe I could double it. That might be achievable. Could we make it $150,000 a year revenue? So think very specifically about what your specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and then by what time. So this is where if your long-term framework is a 2-year plan, or if it's a 1-year plan, is it by this time next year, or is it by the end of December, or is it by the following financial year? Really be specific about when you're going to measure that. So for your long-term goals, 2 of them. Okay, so now we've done our business. I'll just recap on what we've just done. So we've done our 2 business goals for the year and why they're important, or our work goals or finance related goals. And then we've got our 2 lifestyle goals and why they're important. So we've recorded those. We've got them. They're our big rocks. So over 12 months, we want to have achieved these goals for the year. So once we've now got those, we think about our 90-day pebbles. So these are the 90-day goals. You know, when we had that jar, we've put our big rocks in. Now we're putting our pebbles that go sort of falling around the big rocks. So imagine that we're now at the end of February next year. So that's pretty much 90 days from now. So we've got kind of a little bit of November left. We've got all of December. We've got all of January and all of February. I've given you a few extra bonus days there. So we're at the end of February. Looking at those big goals, so you almost need to put, if you've got 4 goals, 2 of each, I want you to name the goal at the top of a page, a separate page for each goal. And then I want you to look at that first goal that you've got, the very first business goal. And then I want you to look at the second business goal. And then I want you to look at the first lifestyle and then the second lifestyle goal. And underneath them, I want you to actually put in place what you have wanting to have done by February. Sasha knows already, she mentioned February. It's interesting that she already had a pebble idea. What is that you want to do by February that's going to actually help achieve and start things happening for that achievement of the big rock goal that you're wanting to achieve? Now, I don't know about you, but sometimes I'm never sure about how long anything's going to take. So I use this as a bit of a brain dump, and I have a column down the side where I put my time frames. So I just do all the things that I need to do, and then I work out when later on when to do them. Some people think very sequentially, and I know a lot of planners and detailed process thinkers can think what they need to do in 90 days. But I kind of just often do a brain dump with the column down the right hand side and then work out, is that a 90-day goal or is that not? And then the 2 90-day business goals, the 2 90-day lifestyle goals. The reason why I do that column on the side for myself is because once I've done the pebbles, then the actions, 3 actions against each of those pebbles need to happen. So you might be like me and want to then have all those pebbles work out then, is that an action associated or is it a 90-day thing? Let's go and look at those pebbles again. Who's got some pebbles they can share for their 90-day goals? Tracy, excellent. Take yourself off mute.
Sorry. Okay, so for the stepping into Australian market, which is my rock, I need to, so I've actually done half of the work on this. I've put together my portfolio and then I went, and I just put it aside and I haven't done anything with it.
Yep. So what are your 90-day, what are the 90-day goals going to be? Is something to do with the portfolio?
Out to every company. So the first goal is to make a list of all the companies in Australia that I'm interested in, that I would actually want to work with. And then my next goal is to get my CV out to all those companies and set up appointments and have a chat to some of those people. And I guess the next one for doubling my income would be there's a couple of things. Firstly, obviously, it's connected to making sure that I get a new position. And my second one would be, I think I need to work with somebody. I think I'm struggling to do this on my own. So I probably need to find a coach or an accountant or a wealth advisor, somebody like that so I've actually tried to do this before. Can I tell you this very short story? So I actually went to a man.
Hang on 2 seconds. Let me just pause my recording. Can you pause the recording, please, Leanne? Yep. Dan. So let's have a think about it. So when you've got a goal like let's pick one of those goals, Camilla. Out of all those goals, let's pick one. The 90-day one. Which one do you want to pick as an example?
Yeah, let's do the exercise every day.
Okay. So to do that exercise, your goal was to be exercising daily for 45 minutes and to have a fat burn of X, right? Mm-hmm. So to do that, what would be then your actions, your 3 actions that you would need to do to progress those 90-day pebbles?
Write out my training plan, because I find myself more motivated when I do have a really clear plan of how I'm going to do it, and that might incorporate some group classes and my own stuff. So training.
So one is writing a writing plan. What's the second one?
Booking in for the classes ahead, so sort of in the week, so I'm making that commitment to myself.
Yep. And what's the third one?
Just get even just something as small as just preparing my clothes and my shoes ready to go in the morning. So when I get up, I can just jump straight into it without having to spend time deciding what I'm wearing and then talk myself out of going.
Okay, so there's 3 really gorgeous actionable steps that Camilla has written down that will help progress her 90-day goal, and that will then help her with her big rock around health and well-being over the next 12 months. In 12 months' time, when you're doing that every day, how are you going to feel?
Amazing. I feel energized and strong and fit and healthy, because I already feel the benefits of that when I have gone consistently and done it. So taking it to the next level and really being consistent and making it part of my lifestyle, I think will make me feel really accomplished, and also just happy with myself and showing up for myself in that way.
Well, I've got no doubt that if you actually set your mind to this with that amazing feeling that you're going to have in 12 months' time, that you are totally able to do this. So this is where these accountability pieces for ourselves come from. So you would have heard then that I said to Camilla, so how would you feel in 12 months' time when you look back and this is happening on a daily basis? How will you feel? So writing down now 3 benefits that you all believe that come from those achieving of those goals. I want you to write down and revisit what are the benefits. So if I'm looking back in 12 months' time and I'm making absolute progress, I've put my actions in place, what are the benefits? So what are those actions? So get those 4 main big goals. And what are the benefits? 3 benefits for each of those. Write down specifically related to each of those 4 goals that you've actually identified. Yeah, so actually thinking about the benefits of achieving the goals that we believe at this point in time are important to us is really helps us then look at them when we might be falling by the wayside, and actually thinking about what is it that's going to help you keep these front of mind, what's going to keep these real for you, and thinking about then the consequences of not achieving them. And then thinking who can help you? Is there someone in your life that you can be your accountability buddy, to help them with their planning and their goals? Or is there, some of you have talked about getting an external mentor or coach or whatever. There's all sorts of things. So it's okay to say, I can't necessarily do this on my own. There's women in the call here that might be open to being an accountability buddy. So if you're open to being an accountability buddy to each other, just pop it in the chat box and you can all chat to each other and connect to each other. Leanne will provide each of you with contact details, or we can reach out to each other and do that. So what I'd like you to do now is to share, if you feel like it, you don't have to, you can pass on it, but share what have you got out? What have been the aha moments for you today? And I also want you to think about in 12 months' time, how you will celebrate the achievement of your goals, whether or not it's any one of those milestones or as they come up over the year, the celebration of them. How are you going to celebrate